More people are taking in content on mobile devices now than they are on desktops. And that means that everybody, including you as a content creator, has to change the way that you approach things. Google has changed the way they approach it by moving to a mobile-first indexing. The way that your site is being interpreted and being ranked and being displayed starts with your mobile version. Now you might say to yourself, well, I've got a mobile optimized site. Unfortunately, that isn't the full extent of it. And so what we want to talk through is a couple of ways to easily and quickly optimize your site for mobile. For starters, and we've talked about site speed already, but in terms of mobile, it needs to be faster because people are typically accessing mobile when they're, not necessarily in a really high, strong Wi-Fi signal. They might be doing that through something like an LTE or through mobile technology. And so you want that site to be fast. We talked about how to make your site fast, but it really serves you well when it comes to mobile. Second off, smaller images is going to be better on a mobile device because they are smaller and quicker to load. You want shorter paragraphs for mobile. That allows your content to be easier read and then thus better engaged. You also want to avoid, unless you absolutely have to, having pop-ups on your mobile. You can usually turn them off for mobile on your website and just keep them on for the desktop experience if you've determined that you have to have a pop-up. Another thing is forms are much more difficult to fill out on a mobile device. So take a good look at your forms, especially your contact form. Your contact form is how people get in touch with you and how they inquire about booking you to give you business. And if your contact form is really long and difficult to fill out, you're going to be turning away people that on a mobile device are not interested in spending all that time and energy. Whereas if you make it very simple and very easy, you're going to find that it's a lot easier for people to use on your mobile device. Let's also talk about navigation. So if you have really long, super optimized names for all of your navigation, then you're going to find that it's harder for people to navigate on a mobile device. That's not good. You want it to be easy and simple. Next, think about font size. So on a desktop, there are certain font sizes that are easy to read that are not easy to read on a mobile device. Finally, make sure you have a responsive design that responds to all the different sizes of mobile devices out there. Nowadays, each company makes a mobile device to be their own unique size and their own unique shape and their own unique dimensions. And so you want to have a site that responsive to all those different sizes. A lot of this is fairly intuitive, but the problem is that we're so used to building and publishing our website on a desktop that we don't stop and look at stuff from a mobile device. You're probably getting more traffic to your website now from mobile devices than you are from desktop devices. And so spending the time to not only make sure your site is set up in terms of speed, image size, but also to make sure it's set up from a user experience angle, from the navigation, from the load, from the paragraph size, the font size, all those things. Spend some time going through and making sure that your site responds well in mobile so that it's easy for users to experience it that way. Now, what we're going to go through next is basically what they call a site audit. We'll go through some of the software that we've talked about, and you can do that back at your website and identify some of the holes and some of the areas you might want to look at improving.